everyone. I'm going to do a tutorial on how to do some beach themed letters. I have this really cool mold from Resin. I know it looks backwards, but that's the way it's supposed to be. And I have a couple different techniques that you can do, and I already have my resin poured. So I have a couple different little cups with some resin. I have beach sand. This was sent to me from my mother-in-law. She actually lives in Florida. I live in Arizona, so I don't have a beach. So she sends me some some actual beach sand. And I know this is weird, but I actually organize all of my shells as well. Don't laugh, even though I'm laughing. But I organize all of the beach shells from I don't know what they're called, but like the skinny ones, and then I've got the flat ones, and I've got the spiky ones with the round oval looking ones, I don't know. But I have some shells, some sand, I've got the molds. So I'm just going to go over a couple different ways. I know a lot of you know how to pour and do the beach themed ones. But I'm just going to do a little tutorial. I have 3 different color techniques, so I'm just going to go ahead and get started. So this one, I'm going to actually start with a little bit of the beach sand in one of the cups. And it doesn't really matter how much sand that you use. I usually have little actual scoopers or little mini spoons, and I don't have them here on me right now, so I'm just going to use a popsicle stick to kind of scoop in a little bit into the resin. And even though I've had this sand for about 3 months, it's still a little bit wet, and I've tried drying it out, but it's beach sand. So you just want to mix it into the resin, get it kind of tacky, and then I'm going to set that aside for a second. And it's okay if you have the dark spots and the dark shells, because it makes it look more authentic, even though, you know, it kind of is authentic to the beach. So I'm just going to let that sit. And another way you can do it is starting with clear, a little bit of clear resin. And if you're going to do it this method, I would highly recommend you taking the shells that you want. So I'm going to use some little tweezers, and I'm just going to kind of put the shells that I want inside of the resin, and that way it'll actually get rid of excuse me, some of the air bubbles. So you're just going to want to put some of them in the resin that you're going to pour. She's going to send me some more as well, so I'm really excited to see what she has. She has actually a one of those really spiny starfish ones that I'm really excited to get. So I love my mother-in-law. She is so awesome. I wish she lived closer. I know not a lot of people can say that about their mother-in-laws, so I'm pretty proud about it. So I guess that's, I don't know, maybe I'll do one more small. I mean, the letters are pretty small. This is from Resin. So I'm going to go for one more small one if I can find a very small one. Let's do that one. Okay. So I'm going to take a toothpick, and I always call these Q-tips. I don't know why, I get them all mixed up. But you're going to want to take your toothpick and kind of just go around and try to get all the air bubbles out of the seashells that you want to use before you pour the resin or place them. So I'm just going to mix that around. Excuse me again. I'm going to do the letters. I was going to do R-E-S-I-N for resin, but I don't know if I have enough resin poured to do that, even though I really want to. Maybe I'll do that in my next tutorial, because, you know, everybody loves tutorials. So I'm going to do, let's do N. My name starts with K, Katrina, but I'm going to do N. So I'm going to go ahead and just pour a little bit of resin on the bottom of the N. I'm just going to let that sit for a couple minutes. And the sand, these are two different techniques that you can do. Let's do O. Let's do O. Right next to the N. So I'm just going to go ahead and put a little bit of the sand, the sanded resin, I guess you can say, into the bottom of the O. And sometimes you want to wait until this is a little bit more tacky, that way it doesn't kind of flow into the middle. But with this technique, when you pour the other colors into the rest of the letter, it'll kind of flow into the sand, so it won't look so bad. And it's okay if you drop it into other ones, because, you know, obviously you can just pick them out. Oh. So I'm going to take the shells that I have sitting in the resin. Might need, I think I'm going to use my tweezers instead of trying to fish that out for 10 minutes. So I'm going to use a couple of these seashells. And I love this mold. This was sent to me by Let's Resin, and I absolutely love it. I can't wait to see how these turn out. And you can place the seashells and whatnot however you want, really, because, you know, it's your creation. With the sand ones, I would suggest kind of pushing them to the center, that way that when you flip the resin over and show the front of the letters, it actually shows up instead of being in the back. And I just kind of scoop and push. Scoop and push. It kind of reminds me of the movie Legally Blonde. Pop and something, I don't know. So it's got 3, well, I guess that's going in there. So I'm just gonna kind of push these how I want them. Alright, and I still have some resin left over in here that I can use. Whoops. So actually I'm going to get another couple seashells and put it in the O. I'm going to see what I can do with that. Let me see. I think I like this one too. There we go. So with the N, this is going to be clear with not a lot of beach sand in the back. This one's going to be beach sand with colored resin. This one I'm thinking about doing clear, mostly clear, with a little bit of beach sand, But then I'm gonna try the drop method. So I've got some different alcohol inks right here, and I'm gonna try these 3 right here in not that order, in this order with the Pinata White. Everybody loves the Pinata White. This is like the best white to use. This one right here. I'm sorry if you can't see anything that I'm doing. Here we go. So the Pinata White with the ocean green, the turquoise, and the lake blue. That's what I'm going to be using for the N. And for the O, I'm actually going to color the resin before I pour it. I'm going to be using some pearlescent white, pearlescent jade, and some pearlescent blue. And it's not the powder pigment, it's just it's some pearlescent inks that I like to use. And I always do this over a covered area. I don't like doing it over my table alone because that's just a disaster waiting to happen. So I'm going to pour some clear resin into the N that I used with the shells. And you always want to use a lighter, or if you have a mini torch, even a heat gun, a light heat gun. Don't use anything too hard or too like with the heat guns, I've noticed that if you hit it too early, it will just blow everything around, which actually it can be kind of good with the beach theme, I guess, because it'll blow the colors around and make it look more beachy and whatever. But I like using a simple Bic lighter. So I'm just gonna pour a little bit of some resin into another cup for the O because it seems to be kind of scattering. So I want to, and the O is kind of small, so actually I'm not going to use that much. Oops. And I'm hoping you can see what I'm doing. If not, let me check it out. This is my new tripod that I have going. Okay, so it looks good. I think you can see everything that I'm seeing. So for the O, I'm just going to let the N sit here with the seashells a little bit. And I know a lot of you know what I'm talking about. And it helps if you kind of let them set and get a little bit tacky. It definitely helps to get a little bit tacky, so that way stuff doesn't move around as much. Unfortunately, I'm doing this really, really late at night. And of course, there we go. My stuff does not want to work with me today. So I'm just going to pour a little bit of white, teal or jade, and then sky blue in the other one. And you're going to want to use lots of popsicle sticks. I would suggest getting, this is not even a 1/16 of what I have. I have so many popsicle sticks, it is so ridiculous. I got them on Amazon. So I'm just going to kind of mix up all of the colors that I have for the O. And in a second, I'm going to kind of scoot all of